One of the best things about WoW has been how it's allowed players to interact with one another. There's the good, but also the bad. Times when players have gone out of their way in order to cause chaos and grief onto others on the other side of the planet. While many see this as taboo, to me, it's the spice that online games need, and one of the reasons that has made WoW so special, allowing for various stories to be woven, drama and controversies. So I feel that this unique form of wholesome interaction is worth taking a good look at. But first, ad time. This video is sponsored by Display. Do you ever mindlessly glare at your walls devoid of any motivation and drive? Well, make that experience that much better with Display by getting cool metal posters on demand. About to punch a hole in said wall after a frustrating battleground loss?
I actually wanted to
now
get
you
some.
won't, because you will remember you put up a display of your queen. Now grumble and apologize. The blades have a unique mounting system that makes them easy and safe to set up and remove, with the additional option of purchasing 3D magnets and stands for your displays. Look at me unbox these displays I got. They're beautiful. There are many different brands to choose from. World of Warcraft, Warhammer, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and many more, with a wide selection of talented artists. You want to give that magic and romantic vibe to your bedroom? Then you should hang up a plate of Gandalf the White over your bed. But wait. For you, there's further discounts during January, especially if you use my link or code Captain Grim. You can even visit my profile and check out some of the displays I recommend. So, what are you waiting for? Make your gloomy cave a little bit fancier with this plate.
Damn, that was a great ad.
As many WoW players are well aware, probably the most notorious method of being a nuisance to other players has always been directly killing them in World PvP, preventing them from continuing on with their objectives and quests. But there are of course other ways to mess with people in World PvP. For example, a method that became widely popularized pretty recently in Classic was Dispelling, as it became a powerful tool to destroy people's psyche without even having to kill them. See, during Classic, the mental damage caused upon WoW players after years of having to play retail's mind-numbing weekly chores and grinds had made them very conscious of the time they spent playing the game, making them want to squeeze out every bit of value they could at any time. Hence why preparing for—
You know what's insane? I talked with Grim on his Twitch maybe like a month or two ago. He doesn't play WoW anymore. He said he hasn't played WoW for like 4 years or something. He's only been playing a classic private server if he really has itch, but yeah, he just has fun making videos, but he doesn't really play anymore.
Raids became that much more important, and one of the most important parts about it was acquiring world buffs. I'm sure many of you are well aware of them, but world buffs are basically really powerful boons that pretty much anyone could obtain through various means, usually received by raiders right before they would start a raid.
That's a cap.
This significance of world buffs made it an easy target for those that sought to inflict mental damage onto the min-maxi raiders. Since, you know, simply ganking someone for fun is nice and all, but having an extra reason to inflict that much more mental damage is just that much sweeter. Come on, Ultra Slayer XX, you're holding up the raid by 13.4 seconds. Where are you?
I'm right here. Just got my buffs and I'm coming in.
Oh my god.
Ultra Slayer, enter the raid already. What's the holdup?
Hi.
You lost your world buffs again. You're guilt kicked, I swear. And I know where you live. You won't pay for ruining this raid night! Of course, many organized to gank those with world buffs, putting them in a tough spot. Join the raid and underperform by a few percent and risk getting kicked.
I feel like if it's organic and they make like a ambush group and do it organically, it's fine and fun. But I hate the ones that like are like parasites, join a Discord, watch their raid time, join their stream, and then just follow them and then try to like gank them as a group, like 1v40. It's so lame when they do that, man. And in Classic WoW, there are some people that are very degenerate stalker level type of guys. Those ones are nasty, dude.
Or
those guys are like sick in the head.
Which probably wasn't happening. So Dispelling became a popular option. You didn't even need to kill them. Just had to be a priest. And you didn't even have to be high level. Well met. How about you help me with killing some wolves? Dedication and conviction that compelled these almost fresh priests to suddenly drop all of their low-level duties and then go on an epic adventure across continents in order to reach Blackrock Mountain or Badlands or something and start dispelling level 60 raiders. it was hilarious. It felt so dirty. Even if you killed them, it didn't matter. They had already done the damage. It was a pandemic. All these low levels in high level areas simply there to be a
Dude,
new
these guys are so bad
pandemic.
though. Like,
dirty. Even if you
look
killed
at
them, it
this.
didn't matter. They had already done the damage. It
this warrior could just tap him one shot right now. Look at his health. And he's
Was a
fucking
pandemic.
like, these guys are terrible players.
All
What is he doing? He's
these
just
low
running, getting everything
level-
dispelled. Just turn around, boom, boom.
in high level areas simply there to be a
Man.
nuisance and remove their buffs. A lot of people were pissed, crying out for the brutality of the priest dispellers. At one point, a petty GM got upset enough at hearing about a dispeller dispelling people that he banned him, which I thought was pretty ridiculous at the time, and I even made a short video on it. But at the end of the day, it is a form of world PvP, and pretty much what people sign up for on those rounds. I thought it was hilarious, but eventually, after many dispel buffs and raid groups in turmoil because they would have to spend around 2-4 minutes longer in the raid.
What do you think, Chad? Did he deserve the ban or no? If one guy's just dispelling everyone every single day and does nothing else, what do you think? For me, I have this general rule of thumb. If somebody's leveling an STV and you're getting camped all day long, Blizzard did ban them back in the day too, because that was part of the rules. You can't gank someone more than like 5 times or something like that. So if you camp someone, you're gonna get in trouble, right? Dispelling war buff all day long. Oh, I feel like that's ruining players' experience. I don't know, man. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. He deserves C, but not a ban. He deserves C, but what is C? You want to elaborate on that? Oh, he deserves... okay. It takes forever to get the buff. 2 to 3 hours. Imagine finally going to lobby. It doesn't take that long to get world buffs. I think getting world buffs are... It can, but if you have your waypoints with the Warlock summons, it can be faster. It can be a little bit faster. I understand how chatters feel, but he has no intent to actually go in combat with these people, just grief. Yeah, I feel the same way, Joiner. I feel like chatters that were saying yesterday, we were watching this video. So I was watching this video yesterday and everyone's like, oh, W, this guy's a Giga Chat. So what he's doing is this guy is summoning, and right when the summon happens, he clicks on the guy that comes, trades and takes his money, right? And then just gets away like constantly. And everyone in the chat says, oh my god, he's so good, he's Giga Chat. But it's like, dude, he's literally stealing, man. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, imagine I was streaming and I'm over there just stealing everyone's gold by trading. There's no way you guys are gonna be like, oh, this guy's a Giga Chad. Like, everyone's gonna be like, bro, this guy's fucking stealing all day long. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's insane. The takes, some of the takes are weird, man. For me, I feel like if you're just dispelling all day long, especially that one streamer, I don't know if you guys remember, he had like 50 screens of his WoW and it's all priests in every single server. And whenever somebody comes online and he hears the radar, like the deek, he has a CCTV and he just goes there and dispels. And it's like, dude, what the fuck is he doing? It's fucking insane. I feel like those kind of people need to get banned, man. Like, just go PvP, man. What is the point of just dispelling all day long? It feels so dumb. I mean, like, we have Boon now, so it doesn't matter. But people like that, dude, it's so dumb, man. It's so insane. Oh, that was Tiny Violent. Yeah, do you guys have the clip of that? Dude, that guy was insane. But it's not just him. There's so many of them. So when people are like saying, oh, these guys are so cool, dude.
Big bad Blizzard had to intervene and slap in this dumb shit to appease them, the Chrono Boom Displacer, in order to allow the sad, mentally obliterated raiders to preserve their world buffs and just activate them at will.
Yeah.
Because truly, that's the classic plus experience that's worth having in vanilla. Both. Now, although the cases of players themselves finding out silly and creative ways on their own to be a menace to society are great, I feel it's also worth revisiting the occasions where Blizzard themselves enabled players to cause untold obliteration. There have been a couple of prominent times when that has been a thing, and coincidentally, it was all during expansion pre-launch events. The first case that was very notorious in World of Warcraft
I thought these were super
was the
cool.
zombie invasion.
I
and it
loved this growing up.
most notably occurred during the Wrath
It was
of the
so
Lich King
cool.
pre-launch event. It was a full-on Scourge invasion with the Lich King's armies invading major cities with extra new objectives to complete. But players could now also interact with suspiciously plague-scented crates. Haha, apparently I can touch this. I don't feel too good. Indeed, the crates would infect the players and turn them into ghouls, causing them to become hostile and give them the ability to infect others in order to grow
I
their number.
liked this because there was like a group of people that liked turning into zombies and they would fight you, and then there was a group of people that would like defend them off the town. And I was one of the people that would like make a raid and defend them off, saying, "Hold the line, the zombies are coming." Like those are really
Now,
fun, man.
There were already swarms of NPC ghouls spawned in various areas, but player-controlled ghouls? Nah, that's messed up. These guys back then were bloodthirsty, I tell
Yeah,
you.
this is
I've read
insane.
so many comments where people were like, yes, I like destroying the low levels, or I'm gonna camp all the low-level questing areas. I don't know what they were going through in life, but they just loved the idea of obliterating every fresh adventurer's hopes and dreams, organizing themselves to intentionally not get their infections cleansed and group up in big globs of destruction.
Holy,
as they
that
would
looks
raid low-level
insane.
quest hubs, infecting all low-level players and killing them. There would be literally
Dude, this
organized
could be a cool like battle mode.
battalions of ghouls and groups just camping around some tree while you were trying to quest in Elwyn Forest, and they would suddenly jump out and devour you. This was especially inflated due to the fact that Alliance and Horde could actually interact and read each other's messages while they were ghouls in order to combine their numbers. It was a great event as it progressively got more and more dangerous in the days leading up to the launch itself. Streets covered in corpses and sludge. It caused
My server was
such a
not
stir
that bad.
Many people took to the forums to complain how horrible this event was, demanding that Blizzard end it immediately, because how are they supposed to find Mancrick's wife when the Lich King decided
Yeah, I think it's toxic if you're camping low level constantly or killing quest givers. I think that's toxic, but the event itself wasn't bad. In my server, I played on Lothar, it was not that high of a pop.
to invade that very week? Huh?
Hey, what the fuck is your problem? Get your shit out of here! I'm trying to find this guy's fucking wife here!
Like, dude, couldn't these guys wait a little while till the event passed before they killed like their 30 Quillbores or something? Fucking hell. But for all those nerds, there were lots of people that thought that the event was one of the most fun things Blizzard had ever done with
It was
WoW.
fun.
I guess they just really wanted to make people suffer, which...
We didn't
hey,
do that.
Fair enough. This event in particular went on to be repeated during the Shadowlands pre-launch event, making it possibly the most exciting thing about that whole
Holy.
expansion. But sadly, of course, its effects weren't quite the same as, you know, everyone could just fly. But there was another interesting pre-launch event. Indeed, the Legion pre-launch event, where players and Stormwind
Holy dude, Westfall looks so different!
eventually began hearing dark whispers,
That's pretty
being
cool.
persuaded by the Legion to join their side, as they would be debuffed and be granted a whole new hotbar with unique abilities that were very reminiscent of Dreadlords, as you could take other people's appearances, turn
Holy.
invisible, cause friendly targets to attack each other, and spread those same dark thoughts onto others. When you did convert enough players, your debuff stacks would deplete.
Dude, you know how Embody made those like games, the WoW Among Us? What if WoW makes like a mode where you could queue up as like 20 people so you could just do these as fun? It's like WoW Among Us, where one guy's like a parasite and like kills people. That could be freaking fun. Like little game modes in WoW so you can play with friends.
Granting you a new ability that will allow you to transform
That'd be
into
so
a
fun.
huge freaking Dreadlord
Holy
yourself. You'd have over
shit.
20 million health and a bunch of busted AoE abilities. A true player-controlled raid boss. Sadly, as powerful as these Dreadlords were, after you transformed into them, you had only about a minute to cause chaos before you died a horrible death. Though, in their short lifespan, some of these
Damn.
Dreadlords had a noble cause. They were on the true path of righteousness, as they desired to make the world a better place before they left it. As they would set their sights not on the Alliance capital, but something much, much more dangerous. The Goldshire Inn on major role-playing servers. The notorious hive of evil and villainy. Their mission was to purge. And that they did after they barged in on the dozens of role-playing patrons. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, what's up? And he was like, hey there, big boy. You wanna quickly get on all fours and maybe... After which, they would meet their demise. But one thing that wouldn't be forgotten is their truly noble sacrifice. Goddamn heroes. And speaking of recent things, we just have to mention the hardcore craze. Personally, not exactly my cup of tea, since usually when I level in WoW, I tend to barely pay attention to the game and continue to pop up and die. But it did catch the attention of many, as Blizzard also eventually published official hardcore realms for Classic. For those unaware, the rules are simple. If you die, you die. That's it. No corpse run, no spirit healer, it's GG. Your character dies canonically with everything on them. So, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Chat, when SSF comes out, are you guys gonna play again or no? I asked my friends that came over recently if they're gonna play hardcore, because they've been like dabbling on SOD a little bit. And they were like, no, we're not gonna play. There's no way. He's like, I die way too much, I can't play that shit. Hell yes, we'll play more Cyberpunk today. Maybe, no, definitely not, no, fuck that. F that, no. Yeah, I don't know if I'm like 90% no right now, chat. We'll see. And especially SOD is gonna be to like level 40 now. I feel like I'm gonna be dabbling around the level 40 stuff. If it's on a fresh server, I think I would play. But if it's in the same server, I don't think I'm going to play because some people are just going to get mob tagged and whatnot. Like, they're going to cheat. Fresh, of course it matters. Mob tagging, man. All right, let's watch this, shall we?
And reach the conclusion of just how much extra grief some players could cause others. Even before the official realms came around, and the player base was simply following the hardcore challenge rules, the chaos had already begun. People were getting creative. Stealth rogues waiting on top of NPCs to bait unsuspecting players to right-click and attack them to force them into PvP mode. Hunters leaving their pets among packs of regular mobs while they hid in the shadows, waiting for unsuspecting players to tag them for the same reasons. And of course, the classic warlock method of summoning an inferno and setting it loose onto the others as it turns
This got
hostile.
fixed before the real hardcore came out.
Possibly the most controversial moments had to be when people played the long con and actually went on to join endgame raids in order to sabotage them to get people killed. Of course, raiding in hardcore is that much more important since at the end of the day, it is technically the most dangerous form of content, and you get only one life. So raid groups had to be extra careful. But unfortunately for them, one mechanic that was hard to avoid was knowing for sure if every single member of your raid group wasn't a complete psychopath. In, for example, this very popular case in Nax Ramus, where the tank intentionally mispositioned one of the bosses in the Four Horsemen fight, causing it to cleave most of the raid group.
Dude, you're actually a fucking troll. Oh, fuck.
That was so toxic.
I mean, it probably can't get any worse than this. Poof, they're gone in a split second. You carefully spend countless of hours watching your step while leveling to level 60, then plan out your pre-raid gear and finally organize with 39 other people to finally begin the end game. And this motherfucker, this guy destroys everything just like that. It's pretty hilarious. They called him the Fifth Horseman. Apparently it all went down due to internal guild drama that eventually spiraled into this. Many people see this in disgust, absolutely revolted that a human being would do such a horrible thing. Salt was abundant. But in my eyes, though it's so tragic, it's such a silly story to be born from it that it makes it all worth it in my eyes. The drama, the spice, the backstabbing. Ah, so sweet.
I think people love drama. No, I don't praise this guy at all, dude. That guy right there saying, I love Tiny in the chat, dude.
I love it. Though, this case was definitely the most noteworthy, raid wipes were
I think
definitely
that shit's
something to
lame.
behold on hardcore. Especially when there was a hint that there may have been sabotage. On the topic of WoW players being a menace, I can't help but have one particular moment in WoW's history always float up in my mind. The Serenity Now funeral crash. A truly
KM, thank you for the
controversial
prime,
thing
appreciate
that
it,
I
man.
somehow
This is fucked up too. If anyone finds this funny, this is fucked up.
stumbled upon in my early days on the internet, and since was embedded in my mind. Same with most people I talk with about WoW. It just seems that almost everyone is well aware of it, even though it happened so long ago, making it possibly one of the most notorious world PvP interactions or griefs to have ever happened in the game. So, a player had sadly passed away in real life. Their Horde guild chose to honor their memory by holding an in-game funeral in Winter Spring.
Dude, this
Most
sounds
of them barely even wearing any
fucked up,
armor or
man.
weapons, instead taking a semi-roleplay approach. And that is when the infamous Serenity Now made their move. They were apparently a notorious force on their realm, being known for relentlessly PvPing PvE players and messing with Horde in general. Once they heard about this gathering, they very quickly decided it's only right to pay them a visit. In the middle of the ceremony, they all rode up on their mounts and they begun their attack. Most of the funeral goers didn't even stand a chance with their lack of gear. The players that orchestrated the funeral crash would from then on have targets on their backs.
That's fucked up,
Definitely
man.
one of the most, if not the most, controversial player interactions in WoW's history, for sure. Many argued that what Serenity did was horrible and immoral, while others simply agreed that PvP on a PvP realm is to be expected. Now, for me, if you kill a low-level player that's questing in world PvP, then yeah, that's bad manners, sure. But it's totally fine to do, as the game allows you to do just that with no drawbacks. This, though, is definitely on another level. Extremely bad-mannered, and in very bad taste, for sure. And yet, it really is
Definitely bad
just
taste.
how WoW is. There's a strange charm to it, even
There's a few individuals that are psychos. I think that's what it's saying. Thank God there's a game they could do this on.
in this very sad situation. For a WoW funeral, it kind of goes about as one would expect from the game. Chaos. Thus immortalizing the moment in a pretty interesting way, I think. One that has definitely left its mark in WoW's history. Lastly, I want to highlight
Last
something special,
one.
possibly one of the most unique and biggest WoW exploits that didn't come to be. It actually came to my attention after a viewer contacted me to tell me all about it. When I read it, I was confused. It definitely sounded interesting, but in all my time being invested in World of Warcraft and being aware of all of these silly things players did, I had never heard about this one. I tried to look it up, but no videos, barely any screenshots, and barely any mention on it, apart from some comments on Wowhead confirming that it definitely seemed like something happened. But how could there possibly be almost nothing on it, considering
was
what
me.
it was? Basically, back during Wrath of the Lich King, you would have a quest with the Ice Giants where you would ride on King Yoakum's back. But this is
I
where the
remember
interesting
this.
part comes in. Through very specific means, you could technically just not do the quest and instead fuck off somewhere else with Yoakum and do whatever the
No
hell
way.
you want.
Alright, minion.
I've never
Now
seen this
We
before.
must wipe out Orgrimmar.
That is not what we agreed upon.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Peppy, the mastermind in question, would use very specific means to overload the game and get it to behave the way he wanted. Things like lagging it out, clicking on the mage portal, starting the quest, and disconnecting at the same time. And upon relogging, he would find that he'd still be on Yoakum's back, but this time in the middle of Ironforge. From then on, the giant could be ridden anywhere, to any zone, as he would have a permanent mount. with
No
lots
way,
of
he brought a
health that
fucking
could also
monster
attack for you.
here?
But the very crazy part about him was that you could use the same trick, but to instead enter instances as well. Yup, raids, battlegrounds, and arenas. Imagine you get your casual friend to finally try doing some arenas with you.
Is there a clip of this or is this a myth? I don't know, dude. I've never seen this. And I played WoW for 20 years.
This motherfucker is
Just
your
this
first
one screenshot? Dude, there's no way he did arena with this because I never heard. If somebody did this in arena, I would have heard about it.
first opponent. Okay, look, just follow my lead and it'll be fine. We can go on the squishier
Arena?
target first and...
No way, dude.
What class is that, by the way? What should I?
This was insane.
No
Not only
way.
super strong, but also hilarious. Imagine seeing this thing running down from the opponent's side in Eye of the Storm. Apparently, when people saw it, they would just jump off from the middle of the bridge because they didn't know what to do. He would then go on to raid Naxxramas and Icecrown Citadel, as he would be summoned in the middle of the unsuspecting raid group, as they thought, oh yeah, we're just getting another random
Oh, I used to
DPS.
love that
But
gear.
instead you get this thing. What? And eventually, also, he would go on to raid Orgrimmar. At the time, Peppy didn't want to reveal to others how he did it, out of fear of the repercussions and getting banned. But after a few days of having fun, he finally decided to turn himself in willingly to DPS, who actually had a laugh about it, but still had to give him a brief suspension, upon which the exploit was now fixed. Now, on its own, this is an already pretty hilarious story to me. But what makes it especially interesting is that this is the single least documented big thing to have happened in WoW. If Peppy had instead chosen to spill the beans on this, you would have had dozens, even hundreds
Sure.
of people riding around on King Yoakum in every city. Maybe even battlegrounds full only of King Yoakums. WoW was almost about to look like Attack on Titan or some shit. To me, this
Holy, dude, this battleground mode would be so cool.
is almost on the level of ridiculousness as the Corrupted Blood incident.
I swear, if Blizzard gives players a way to have a sandbox, kind of like Warcraft 3 back in the day, they would make so many fun modes. God mode. They would have so many good games.
Or the Kazakh invasion.
Right,
But
chat?
just stopped in its tracks.
I mean, the boys
Right
that play
before
Warcraft 3 would know.
Which then explains the lack of content around it.
They made
The lack
so
of
many
footage,
good games.
Recordings, screenshots, whatever. I just thought it so interesting that I had to share it with you guys. And thank you again, Pepe, for coming to me with this. And finally, all that is left is the two single most devastating times in WoW's history where players have been a complete menace that have caused by far the most chaos and destruction, period. The Kazakh invasion and the Corrupted Blood incident. These two happenings are so big and notorious though that I've already gone ahead and made separate videos on each one just for you. So go ahead and enjoy.
That was a
And of
really good
course,
video.
remember to check out this playlist.
Chad, this is gonna sound unbelievable, but there was a time in World of Warcraft where you can ask my brothers and my cousin if my brother ever comes, okay? Not making this shit up. I don't know what happened, but my mage got GM and I had the little this thing next to it, right? Like this. I don't know how I got it. They probably accidentally gave it to me or some wrong coding. I randomly got it and I was on my mage Moses with the title GM. And I've never been a GM obviously, so I don't know what the fuck to do with it. But what I realized was when I was doing a battleground, I could talk and I could listen to the horde players. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so cool. And then I went to the auction house. I wanted to get that GM gear, but they don't have something that looks like that. So I got like a blue hoodie, like that tailoring level 20-ish one, Azure or something. I don't remember the name exactly, but I got that hoodie. I threw in the level 1 mage robe. It doesn't look exactly like the GM, but I went to Orgrimmar and I was like talking with the horde and whatnot. And my cousin, he was a GM in Korea. So I was like, yo, do you know any code? And blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to tell me all these codes, but none of them were working, man. And he said, you should probably tell the GM or you're going to get banned. And I opened the ticket and said, yo, I think you guys made me a GM on accident. So I had the GM title for like 2 days. I wonder what would have happened if I just kept it, man. In World of the Draenor, everyone. It's a bad excuse and I deserve the ban, I guess. But everyone was using this honor bot. But I wasn't using the one. I wasn't using the named one, which was, I think it was Honor Bringer. All the streamers were using Honor Bringer, but then I got a free one, which was on Owned Core. They had like a free one where it just presses one button, and that one button has like /follow and then /throw judgment or something like that. And I just had that bot on for like a week, and my character was full honor, full gear, and I was like, oh shit. And then I got a permaban. But then what the unfair part is Hansel was using Honor Bringer and he only got a 6. A lot of the streamers got 6 month ban and I got a perma. But I think it's because I used something in owned core instead of the one people normally used. I definitely use honor buddy. Yeah, a lot of people used it. A lot of people used it. I don't. Yeah, perma sounds excessive. Have you tried to get unbanned recently? Should I try appealing again? I don't think they would. No, I tried. I tried to appeal in Legion, and I think the next expansion I tried again, and they said they're not gonna change their thoughts. I was like, all right, whatever. I already have like all my characters re-leveled and whatnot.